So you're getting ready for the New York State permit test, and everyone's telling you to read the driver's manual. But what if I told you there's a secret to passing that saves you from having to memorize all 80 pages? Well, that's the exact strategy we're going to break down right now.
Look, you've probably been told to just study the official driver's manual. But let's be real, when you open that thing up, it's pretty easy to feel stressed out. It's just this dense, official-looking document that feels like a total mountain of information to memorize.
And you're not imagining things. The official manual is a full 80 pages long. To pass this test without losing your mind, you don't need to memorize it all. What you really need is a strategy.
Okay, so let's pull back the curtain and demystify this manual. The key, the absolute secret that's going to save you hours of studying is knowing what you actually need to focus on, because not all of it is on the test. That's right, I'll say it again, the entire manual is not on the permit test. And this isn't some weird hack or a trick. The DMV themselves will tell you this. You just have to know where to look.
This chart right here shows you everything you need to know. On the left, you see chapters 4 through 11. That's it. That is the only material on the written test. Now look to the right. You've got chapters 1 to 3 and chapter 12. And yeah, all of that is important stuff for being a safe driver, for sure, but it is not what you're going to be tested on for your permit.
So first, let's just quickly cover what's not on the test. Think of these as the chapters you can basically skim for now and circle back to later on.
Chapters 1, 2, and 3, they're all about the paperwork side of driving. You know, licenses, the point system, registration, insurance. All of this is absolutely essential for owning a car down the road, but it's not the rules of the road stuff that the permit test is all about.
And hey, you don't have to just take my word for it. The NYS DMV website says it plain as day. This information is not covered on the test. So there you go. This is your official permission slip to save yourself hours of study time.
All right, now for the main event. Let's focus on what really matters. This is the absolute core of your study plan. These are the chapters that are actually going to help you pass that test.
These 8 chapters, from 4 all the way to 11, are your study guide. Everything you need to know for that written exam is right here. So for now, you can forget the rest and just pour all of your focus and energy into this section.
And to make it even easier, you can kind of group these chapters by topic. Think of it in 4 parts. First, you've got the absolute basics, signs, signals, and all those road markings. Second is the mechanics of moving, turns, parking, passing. Third, it's all about driver safety, defensive driving, and the super important laws on alcohol and drugs. And finally, you've got how to interact with everyone else on the road. Breaking it down like this just makes it feel so much more manageable, right? And just one more time, for good measure, the DMV makes it perfectly clear, this is your green light to focus only on these chapters. Seriously, this is the key to studying smart, not just hard.
So what about that last little part of the manual? Let's just quickly touch on the final chapter so you know what's there.
Okay, so chapter 12 is all about what to do if you're in a crash. This is critical, real-world knowledge, so definitely make sure you read it after you pass your test. The manual also ends with this big chart of road signs. Now, chapter 4 covers these, but this chart is an awesome visual cheat sheet to use when you're studying.
Okay, so now you know what to study, but let's talk about the single best way how to study this stuff. To get your hands on the manual, you've got a few choices. You can download the PDF, you can grab a free printed copy from the DMV if you're someone who likes to highlight stuff, or you can use the online version. And here it is, my #1 pro tip, use the online version. Why? Because at the end of every single one of those testable chapters, it has an interactive quiz with actual questions from the permit test. I mean, come on, this is the ultimate study tool. You can read a chapter and then immediately test yourself with the same kind of questions you're going to see on exam day. It's a game changer. So there you have it. The secret isn't really to study harder, it's all about studying smarter. Focus on chapters 4 through 11, use those online practice quizzes, and I promise you, you'll be more than prepared. So the only question left is, are you ready to take the wheel? Good luck.